Hi, good morning. I'm Dr. Aeni. I would like to tell you and show you how do I deliver my subject Introduction to Educational Research in my class, inserting project-based learning. Introduction to Educational Research covers the concept of research methodology. It covers the process, how do we conduct the research. This subject tells and offers the student how do we state the research problem, how do we state the hypothesis, and how the students design the research method that they are going to use in their research proposal, and how do they collect and analyze the data, and the last one is how do they produce the research proposal. Then in this course I apply the project-based learning as the media in order to help the students, to facilitate the students to be more independent and more creative. Let me tell you in bahasa Indonesia bahwa project-based learning itu adalah memberikan kesempatan mahasiswa sebagai center dari proses pembelajaran. Jadi para dosen memberi
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night. My name is Sandina Lainaya, and today I will presentate my proposal entitled The Impact of Spelling Bee Game in Learning to Improve Students' Vocabulary Mastery. So, the table of contents. So this research contains of 3 chapters. The first is Introduction, Literature Review, and Methodology Research. Okay, next. Okay, Chapter 1, Introduction. This chapter covers background, problem statement, objective, significance, and scope of the research. Okay, background of the research. So, English is a global language because it has the same quality almost all places in the world except this use of English. English can also be learned anywhere. There are many places that provide English courses. Various applications have also appeared to help non-native speakers learn. There is no age limit for those who want to learn English. From children to adults, all will need to be able to understand English. The rest is from self-awareness to be able to learn English. Indonesia has realized the importance of this language as a lesson in school. Teaching English has been done since elementary school to the college. Everything is adjusted to the level of students' ability. The teachers are taught to be able to educate their students. In teaching English, in adolescence, there are many things that we can apply. One of them is learning by games. Explain that games can be used as a support tool to complement traditional teaching methods to improve the learning experience of learners while also teaching other skills. Okay, in understanding English, what we need to know is large of vocabulary. Understanding of words makes it easier for us to be able to read, write, and listen. The meaning is that we are at least able to memorize vocabulary from present, past, future. And one of way is by Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee is one of interesting games to teach English vocabulary. According to Uranga Rahayu 2009, Spelling Bee is a kind of competition where the competitors have to compete to spell the words given correctly. Spelling Bee is not only about memorizing words, but it's more than that. It's about complicated thinking process where we try to guess what word it is with some clue and spell it correctly. However, there is still a few research have discussed about the effectiveness of Spelling Bee in learning. To prove how Spelling Bee games can help students improve their vocabulary mastery, the writer is interested to conduct the research about the impact of Spelling Bee game in learning to improve students' vocabulary mastery. Next. Okay, problem statement. Okay, the problem statement is Spelling bee game affected the vocabulary mastery to the students. The enthusiastic of students in learning vocabulary through spelling bee game. The objective of the research. Based on the statement before, the writer has tried to arrange the aims of the research. The first is to identify the effect from the use of spelling bee game in vocabulary mastery of the students. The second is to find out whether the students are enthusiastic in learning through spelling bee game or not. Next. Okay, the significance of the research. This study can be benefits for three sides. Those are students, teachers, and other researchers. For the students, these researchers help students to improve their vocabulary mastery through a fun way and great atmosphere so they can enjoy while learning vocabulary through spelling bee games. For the teacher, the research assists the teacher to find a great way to teach English effective. For the other researchers, the writer hopes this research can help other researchers to know the effectiveness of spelling bee game in teach English. Next. Okay, scope of the research. In order to focus the research, the writer limited the scope of study as follows. The first is spelling bee game as method to improve vocabulary mastery, vocabulary that we have to know and use it correctly. This research takes sample and involves students from primary school. Next. Okay, we move to the second chapter, literature review. So, this chapter shows previous related findings, pertinent ideas, and conceptual framework, and also hypotheses. The first is previous related findings. There are some previous related research that will support this research. The first one is from Wahida 2018. Found that the average score of students' score was increasing, where the result of post-test is higher than the pre-test. These findings indicate that there is an increase in vocabulary after spelling bee game was tested. Students also feel more joy in enjoying the lesson because the learning method used counts. From study 2017, the findings of this study indicate that the spelling bee game can help students to improve their vocabulary development. More than 17% of students get improvement during the post-test. Furthermore, it was found that this activity had a positive impact because apart from them memorizing vocabulary easily and accurately, their pronunciation skills also increased due to repetitive spelling activities. Next. Pertinent ideas. So, today there are many ways to teach English. Even in play, we can teach students. The spelling bee game is an example of improving vocabulary mastery. I will explain from the spelling bee. Spelling bee. Definition of spelling bee is a contest that competitors is try to spell the words. The contest is regarding quite simply memorizing and orthography the letters of word. Complex thinking is also involved in the game process. The essential of spelling. There are three reasons why spelling is important according to Best. Those are communication, literacy, and employment. The advantages and disadvantages of spelling bee games. There are some advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is the students make more interested in learning the material, and also the teachers doesn't need to explain too much material. The disadvantages is that sometimes they move and talk too much when conditions are like this. The teacher is difficult to control. Okay, vocabulary. Vocabulary is something that must be mastered by students to be able to understand the material, something that given with kind of vocabulary. Words are classified as a part of speech into 9 categories: pronoun, noun, adjective, conjunction, adverb, interjection, verb, articles, determiner, and preposition. Okay, the vocabulary mastery is needed to express ideas and comprehend what others say. Vocabulary mastery plays an important role in learning. Vocabulary supports language skills. In order for our English to be good, vocabulary understanding must be the same. So the beginners must learn vocabulary first so that they can understand and master the other skills. Okay. Next is conceptual framework. As you can see in the screen, start from pre-test, the students or EFL learners will divide it into 2 classes. The first is experimental class and control class, where the experimental class, they will do the spelling bee games to learn vocabulary. Meanwhile, in the control class, they will not apply the spelling bee games. Then there is a post test to check their knowledge after do the spelling and not. And then in the end, we will get or gain information about their vocabulary mastery, how how much vocabulary mastery that they know after this research. Hypothesis. In this research, I will use null hypothesis, where there is no effect for spelling bee games in vocabulary mastery. The next chapter is research and method. This chapter embraces the type of research, place and time, research design, population and sample, the technique of collecting data, and the technique of data analysis. Type of research, place and time of research. Type of this research is the researcher will use the quasi-experimental research type, which consists of pre-test and post-test. A post-test is test given to preparing members after guidance introduced or finished. A post-test is test given. A pre-test is a stage in research when summary question polls are tested on people from target population to assess their dependability and legitimacy of the study instrument prior to their final dispersion. Okay, place and time of the research. This research will be conducted at primary school named SDN Pacindongan, which is located in Goa District. Research design. Next for the research design and population and sample. So the study will experimental design, which is quasi-experiment. This consists of control class and experiment class. The researcher will employ a quasi-experimental research design to determine the effectiveness of spelling bee games for vocabulary mastery. Population and sample. The population in this research is all of the students grade 5, which amount of 60 students. The sample is 30 students. To carry out this research, the researcher took 2 classes of SDN Pacindongan, then divided into 2, namely experiment and control, by comparing pre-test and post-test scores obtained from that class. Next, technique of collecting data and data analysis. So the data were collected from pre-test and post-test of the students. They will be given a task with multiple choice after being taught to use spelling bee game. In data analysis technique, the researcher used descriptive and inferential analysis. Descriptive analysis, which analyzed the data based on the student's score. Inferential analysis, which analyzed the data with compared the result from the pre-test and post-test. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, that's the end of video. How do I apply the project-based learning in my class, Introduction to Educational Research? That's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.